to hear your voices, because I know you all got some very strong voices, right?
Yes.
All right. I am your host. I am Elencia Baptiste Boseman, and I am honored to be here today and to be your host and to also play a part in helping to organize this event that I thought is very honorable. It was truly a blessing for me to be handed the portfolio of elderly and seniors, aging. I have a lot to learn. I am learning and I'm growing as I continue, but I know with God's help and I know with your help, note what I said, with your help, we can do this as a community and as a country. I take this opportunity also to welcome you to this event and to encourage you to make every opportunity of this event that has been set up and provided for you. If you look around the space, you would recognize that there are quite a lot of things that is set up here, but I'll go in that in a bit. I don't want to take too much more time of the minister. He's here, he has quite a busy schedule, but knowing our minister, he likes seniors. So I'm going to tell you all, Minister, I'm going to put you on the spot. Make sure you all take advantage of him in as much ways as you can. He says he loves the seniors, right, Minister? He says it. And he also tries his best to demonstrate it in whatever way he can. And we are truly thankful for him and the work that he's doing. And Minister, welcome. And I'm going to give you the mic so that you can address.
I honestly believe that seniors have contributed. You have been actually the founders of what we are today. You have been the persons that have actually done everything possible, everything, whether you were a cleaner, a bus driver, doesn't matter which aspects or which profession you come from, you have contributed positively to the development of Samaritan today. We would not be in this place enjoying the benefits that we're enjoying if it wasn't for you. So give yourself a round of applause. Now today is not only about us coming out here to sit down, to see to meet each other and to conversate, but it's also to get you connected with all the different services that are available for you, the seniors. And not only the seniors, but also for those of you, God willing, God bless us, that is currently not seniors as yet, but we will be blessed with the ability to become a senior in the near future. And some of us in the far future. It's a blessing, eh? So what we have out there are different stakeholders that will contribute to making life more comfortable and easier for you now and for in the future. So please take advantage of all the different services. Get as much information as you can. Those of you that are here, please reach out. Those of you that know there are persons that are not able to be here, get information for them, share it with them, and for sure, make sure that you do not leave here wondering what else is there for you. If there's something that we're missing here today, please indicate to myself, indicate to any one of us wearing the VSS shirt, and we will make sure to improve on it next time round. Or you don't even have to wait till next time round. I'm going to be walking around with you. I'm hoping to be playing dominoes with some of you as well. Please feel free. Have a conversation with me. I'm very open. If you notice, I ain't got no bodyguard. The only bodyguard I have is up there. I don't need nobody else. That's the only bodyguard I need. So feel free to approach me. Feel free to have a conversation with me. And I have no problem. In making sure whatever your issues may be, that we can try to get a solution together. So I'm not going to take up much of your time. Enjoy the rest of the day as much as you can. Make sure drink something. Make sure eat fruits. Make sure share your knowledge and share everything that you have. And more importantly, take time with each other as well. Okay, this is one of those rare opportunities where we get to see everybody that we haven't seen in a long time. And I've already recognized some faces. I'm going to be touching you soon. To touch base again that we can reconnect as well, okay? So enjoy the rest of the day, and yeah, there's a lot of other events to come, so stay tuned, eh?
some of the items that I believe will definitely contribute to a better functioning, I have been mentioning for the last couple of years in IPCO. Some of them have been taken over. Coincidentally, one of them being a constant follow-up on IPCO decisions. Over the years, what we have seen is that many issues have been discussed, many issues have been proposed for discussion and put on the agenda, only for it to be a sort of a one-time discussion. We have been getting presentations over and over again, but no clear indication what do we do or what do we wish to do with these presentations. Slowly but surely, the discussions in IPCO have moved from specific topics and deliberations on those topics to more presentations and visits and hearing from different instances, which of course is good to know. Information is always helpful. However, we don't decide what it is we want to do with that information, and the matter of aging being one of them. How much longer are we going to continue hearing from different professionals or organizations about something that is so clear? And while, yeah, we might not be where some of the other countries are right now, we're going to get there for sure. So, so those type of issues, and one of the things that we need to be much clearer about, not only for IPCO, but for the Parliament of St. Martin, is the interaction, feedback, and deliberations with the government on some of these issues that we deliberate on, the information that we get, the presentations that we share, which are based on the government giving us information. So we ourselves, forget about the IPCO for a moment, the IPCO as an organization, but we ourselves here on St. Martin, Parliament and government, we need to be clear on what it is we want to submit to IPCO. I believe, for example, that the presentations that we give regarding St. Martin, which is information that we receive, but it is so generic, and to me tells you nothing, deep about St. Martin. We can do much better where that is concerned. That's just my opinion. But of course, we have to work with government on that being the case, and also the responses on some of the issues. But again, those notes, which are in line with what I'm saying here right now, will be shared in here with everybody else soon.
One of the questions that I had, and the previous speaker also touched on it, was the presentations. At the IPCO, we followed different presentations, like you mentioned before. One was also a walkthrough at the airport baggage handle system that is there. The presentation about the DCCA and where they're at now versus, in my opinion, where we are on St. Martin. So the question was, even after an IPCO like that, what do we do with that information? How do we translate what we experienced or what we heard in those meetings and bring that over to our parliament and then to our government? So when a follow-up, like the previous speaker mentioned, is discussed again in the IPCO, that then there's substance to our members of parliament saying, hey, okay, after this meeting, we saw this, this, and this. This is what we did, information. These were our bottlenecks, and this is how we'd like to move forward. Or do you have any suggestions of moving forward? Otherwise, it just seems like a vicious circle of meetings and presentations with little or no substance. So that is why I came to this meeting, to hear then from the other committee members how they are planning, or what is the plan moving forward with these types of meetings and presentations that were held.
Just for my clarification, because this is my second IPCO, when a decision, based on the point you just mentioned, when a decision list is sent to the government, is that to be seen as an instruction to the government based on the parliaments from the countries, or do they just have just to tell info, or how does that go? Is it in the form of a motion? How does government react to these afspraken lists? Then that would give more juice to my other points, because then we could make all the afspraken in the world, and the governments don't agree or execute, then where do we go from there?
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurances.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurances.
And I want to be clear that resources does not always mean money. The same results we're seeing here, we see in our neighbors to the north, where high school students are struggling with word and number recognition in the collectivité. We see it in other islands as well. And we also hear the same challenges of 13-year-olds having a challenge with basic spelling and grammar in the United States, in Canada, and in the Netherlands. With this data, we can see where we're already addressing certain items and where we need to pay more attention as a ministry and furthermore as a country. Many of the challenges we see popping up in education are socioeconomic issues that, of course, requires collaboration with the Ministry of VSA to ensure that we address these matters and help these students before they become the Ministry of Justice's problem. But most critically, a shift in the way in which we approach teaching, even the very profile of what a teacher should be, and the way we regard children is what will move the needle forward on improvement in these assessments. I thank you again for the opportunity to present these reports to the members of Parliament, and I await any questions.
Happy to hear from the minister that she said these numbers and statistics are worrisome. I tried to stay on the chair because it just kept sinking deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Well, Mr. Chairman, and I see that the presentation or the numbers that the minister mentioned, she maybe just received them this year, or when did these numbers come to the minister? That is one question. And what I am missing in the presentation, what is the plan of government to address these issues? And if the government or the ministry has a plan on how to move forward to get these gaps closed in advising parents, teachers themselves, moving forward, I would like to see that plan. Then, Mr. Chairman, one of the things that I've mentioned before is making sure that we're taking care of our teachers. I've stood in a classroom myself and had to give away most of my salary helping students to be able to just survive the day. And I've known from a lot of my ex-colleagues that they are still experiencing these shortcomings in the schools, from school boards, from parents, but most from government. So I'd like to hear from the minister also, what is her plan when it relates to that aspect, seeing that in order for me to get, or my children to reach the point where they need to reach, I need the teachers. And in order for the teachers to be able to do that, they need to stop worrying on how they're going to survive themselves. Small example, a teacher finishes her study at the age of 24 years and starts teaching, watching the salary scale that we have now. After 20 years, her salary doesn't move anymore. So it means that 40, 45 years, she has no increase in her salary. And that is a problem. That is a problem that is demotivating to anyone that wants to teach. So if the minister has a plan on taking care of that also.
Mr. Chairman, I'm really trying my best to formulate my questions since receiving this report today. And I think why it bothers me that we received the report so late and that I have to mention it because I'm trying my best. But why I have to mention it is because this is something that I have asked about last year. And one of the first things that the minister mentioned just now in her opening statements was that the first presentation was done in Q3 of 2024 for the first part, the first cohort. And I remember asking about us receiving that information one of the first times that the minister was here, and we did not receive that. Now I have it, and because of the way how my brain works, I need to put these things next to each other and look at the Dutch versus the English and then formulate my questions, because I have questions such as, has anything been done looking at the differences in the Dutch versus the English schools? Does the ministry see where Dutch might be an issue, especially when it comes to maths, etc., for the children in schools who are in the Dutch stream? The minister mentioned that there was a survey done about Dutch children speaking Dutch at home, and it came out around 75%. If I don't know, because I'll have to go look back at the numbers, somewhere in the 70s anyway. But I remember that in census, we also had that number. So which shows that the numbers are aligning. So that always shows accuracy in the data. It is so. It's around 75, 72, around that amount percentage of homes on St. Martin where people speak English. Also, the percentage that speaks Dutch aligns as well, is also clear in the census. But then I will take the time to thank the minister for bringing this to Parliament. I too am concerned seeing what has been presented, and I have been concerned for a while because when I was a minister, I was around in the Q3 presentation, so I was privy to the presentation back then, and that's why I had asked for the numbers so that we could have the follow-up here and so that we could ask certain questions. However, no, we got it today. I don't know if it's possible. I have a proposal since the data came in so late, and it's a very important topic, and seeing the gravity of the situation and the numbers that we are seeing here, if we can have time to prepare our questions in a normal way so that we can exercise our parliamentary oversight on this matter and take it serious, because I cannot ask the questions that I want to ask now. I have a whole lot of papers in front of me. A lot of it is AI generated, but the meat of it, I cannot. So if please, I don't know if the others agree, but I would like to prepare my questions better. Thank you.
Get a gist of my colleague who spoke before me in terms of the request. I agree, I support that request for another meeting on the matters encompassed in this report. And that being said, through you, Mr. Chairman, to the Minister. Minister, you mentioned that this particular review, survey, etc., was done in collaboration with the NRPB and the World Bank. And so my question is, has there been any synchronization with what has been done towards this project and the different items for education in the lunch packet? So any synchronization between these matters. And for me, extremely important, and while it's, of course, disheartening to be confronted with what we have been confronted with, my question is, and what now? With this information at hand, you know, what now? I hope this is not going to be a report that, of course, we all, not even a wow moment, it's just a moment of what you hear out there kind of hitting you in your face right now with the results. And I hope this report is not added to many of the reports that, whether we got them from or via the lands packet or the NRPB, are being shelved. And the two most common reasons mentioned for shelving these reports are capacity and capacity and funds. That's the main things that are always mentioned. So specifically to that is, so now and now what? What is the plan of approach following this or any other approach that deals with these kinds of issues? And I want to tie into that question, the question of regarding the results of our students, etc. Is there any collaboration, formal or informal, with the other Dutch Caribbean countries? And what you notice more and more is that there are several agreements between governments and institutions, especially between the three Dutch Caribbean countries, and whether it be on the airport, on the airports, health, etc., etc. So is there any formal agreement with the other Dutch Caribbean countries, or just collaboration, informal as it might be?
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance is.
Are you SZV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah, your social health insurances.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, all schools that are able to reopen have resumed operations, though some continue under modified arrangements. Despite that progress, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness indicated that the number of students still unaccounted for remains a major concern for the government.
I think the biggest fallout, which is of concern to me, is that the Ministry of Education has reported that there are about 1,000 kids that they have not been able to track and get them to come back to school. But the good news is that the ministry is actively trying to find them, to get them back into school. Because I always believe, in the worst of situations, it is better for you to be in school than not. So we're going to find them and bring them back to school. And the other good news is that we have approved, well, almost $5 billion for the Ministry of Education to do the restoration and rebuilding of schools, and that is going on right across Jamaica now.
At the same time, Dr. Holness said broader recovery plans are advancing steadily since the Category 5 hurricane. Dr. Holness described the overall recovery process as progressing fairly well, but emphasized that reconstruction will require more strategic planning.
The reconstruction has to take place on two levels. The first level is that we have to look at what was destroyed, and we have to figure out, should we build this back? And I want you to just stop for a moment and think about it. It doesn't make sense to build back things which shouldn't have been there in the first place.
He also pointed to long-standing concerns about road infrastructure.
I want you to think about some of our roads. You ever wonder why we build the roads on the coast? Why we run the road beside the river? Why we put the road on the steep hillside? Why we cut the road on land that you know is going to slip? Think about it. Many of these decisions were not made by us, right? Some of them are legacy from colonial periods.
The Prime Minister says as recovery transitions into long-term rebuilding, the government is expected to focus on strengthening infrastructure. Aaliyah Bryant, TVJ News.
Justice for Melissa! Justice for Melissa! Justice for
A lot of people are gathered here at the Emancipation Park in Kingston. Now, many people should know that this park commemorates freedom from slavery. But this afternoon, people are here for a cause, and that cause is freedom from injustice. Now, Melissa Silvera, she was killed in November 2023. Her husband, Julian Silvera, he was charged for her murder. And in February, just last month, he pleaded guilty to manslaughter. That did not sit well with a lot of Jamaicans, and so they are out here this afternoon with two main charges. One, mouth versus gun, and two, provocation is not justification. I spoke with some family members, and they shared what they hope this movement sends, the message it sends to Jamaica.
I'm so traumatized and so shocked about it because I lived there with them from the day after the incident until he was taken away. I do hope that what happened today has enforced a lot to all women and even men that if something happens, you either talk it out or walk it out, but you don't try to do any harm of any form to each other because it's not going to put us anywhere, because if you do harm, you should be punished.
As a woman and the understanding of the abuse that happens all over the world, specifically in Jamaica, it's just a great opportunity to just showcase that. And I see it this way, that Melissa's death would not be in vain because it has brought this level of awareness and it's something that has to be continued. But, that is my passion, the protection of women.
I don't think words can really describe. So really, I'm heartened by everyone who has come, not to show solidarity just for Melissa, but for injustice to women on a whole. So that is really just a message. Everybody to come to remember that women are very, very vital to us. There are our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunties, our sisters, our nieces. They deserve to live. They deserve to live in peace. No matter what happens, we're all human beings. And the right to life is the primary right. And that's really, as family, what we want everybody to just recognize. Melissa was our family. She was a person. And just the legacy of her being a person. That's really it.
It started raining earlier, and as a result, the crowd started dwindling minute by minute. But they say they're still resolute in the message they want to send. I spoke with some others who commented on the fact that Mr. Silvera's sentencing will be streamed live on Friday.
I'm very happy that was decided, because that was one of my fears, that everything was going to be done behind doors, just like how the procedure was done behind doors. I thought that was going to be behind doors. So I will definitely be listening to the sentencing and hoping for the best and hoping that the judge will give a fair and importantly, just judgment.
My thoughts on that is that more public disclosure and transparency around the conversion of the charge from murder to manslaughter and the circumstances around that decision. I think the citizens deserve and expect that. So the sentencing, yes, while it's nice, it's for me, it's the least.
I think accountability-wise, it's good for Jamaicans to see the system and to see the system at work. And it obviously reduces the skepticism in the justice system. So yeah, and as a regardless of the situation, as a Jamaican, it is something that I would want to have participated in, even if it wasn't my relative.
The crowd here was hoping they could continue until 6 p.m. this evening, but the rain thwarted those plans. However, they do have another protest scheduled for Thursday, March 19 in New Kingston. It's back to you in studio.
This is our SXM Daily Newscast. Thank you for joining us.